Freddie stood in the grand reception hall of the Xylothian flagship, his heart hammering against his ribcage. The bouquet of earth flowers, simple daisies and roses, felt absurdly small in his calloused hands. Around him, alien dignitaries from a dozen species watched with multifaceted eyes, chitinous antennae and crystalline sensors. None of them held gifts. None of them looked remotely nervous. He shouldn't be here. A maintenance technician from Sector 7 had no business at a diplomatic function. But Sienna had insisted. It's a gesture of goodwill, she'd explained earlier, adjusting his collar with the efficiency of someone who'd spent too many years as a human liaison officer. The Xylothian queen has never received flowers before. Their planet is all metal and stone. No organic life. Then why me? Freddie had asked. Sienna's amber eyes had softened. Because you actually care, Freddie. That matters more than protocols, now. Watching the towering doors at the far end of the hall begin to open, Freddie wondered if caring was enough. The Xylothian queen emerged, and the room fell into immediate silence. She was magnificent, nearly 8 feet tall, her exoskeleton shimmering with bioluminescent patterns that shifted like aurora borealis. Her forearms moved with fluid grace, and her compound eyes held an intelligence that made Freddie's breath catch. The queen's counselors flanked her, their mandibles clicking in what the translator implant in Freddie's ear interpreted as formal greetings. Ambassador Chen stepped forward first, offering a data crystal containing Earth's proposed trade agreements. The queen accepted it with her upper right hand, her expression as much as Freddie could read one politely neutral. Next came the Dracorian representative, presenting a ceremonial blade. Then the Aqualian diplomat with their water sphere containing microscopic art. Each gift was received with the same measured courtesy. Then it was Freddie's turn. He stepped forward, his worn work boots silent on the polished floor. Sienna had positioned herself near the back of the human delegation, but he could feel her encouraging gaze. The flowers suddenly felt even more inadequate. What was he thinking? These weren't even exotic blooms, just flowers from the ship's hydroponics bay. Your Majesty, Freddie said, his voice steadier than he felt. He held out the bouquet. We humans have a tradition. When we want to show respect and friendship, we give flowers. They're living things from our world. They don't last forever, but while they do, they're beautiful. Like this moment, like this chance for our peoples to meet. The translator worked overtime, converting his words into the complex series of clicks and harmonic tones that comprised the Xylothian language. The queen's antennae, delicate things that Freddie hadn't even noticed before, quivered. She reached down with both her lower arms and took the bouquet. For a long moment, she simply stared at it. Her bioluminescence shifted through colors Freddie didn't have names for. The counselors began clicking urgently among themselves. Then the queen did something no one expected. She brought the flowers close to her face, where Freddie could now see small sensory organs he'd mistaken for decorative patterns. She inhaled or did whatever the Xylothian equivalent was, and her entire body shuddered. The lights in her exoskeleton blazed brilliant gold. Scent, the translator rendered her words. These have scent. Before Freddie could respond, before anyone could react, the queen moved with startling speed. Her lower arms still cradled the flowers while her upper arms reached out and pulled Freddie into an embrace. It was gentle despite her size, her exoskeleton surprisingly warm against his skin. The entire hall erupted. Gasps, clicks, chirps, and shocked exclamations in a dozen languages filled the air. Freddie stood frozen, unsure if he was about to cause an intergalactic incident or if he'd just made history. Then the queen pressed her face to his forehead, a gesture that the cultural briefings had never mentioned, and released a series of melodic tones that didn't need translation. They conveyed warmth, joy, gratitude. She pulled back, her compound eyes somehow conveying something that looked remarkably like tears, though Freddie knew that was impossible. Her bioluminescence had shifted to soft pink and gold patterns. 300 cycles, the queen said, her translated voice thick with emotion. 300 cycles since the last garden on Xylothos died. We remember flowers in our genetic memory, but we thought we would never experience them again. You have given me back a piece of my ancestors' world. Freddie's throat tightened. I didn't know. I just thought, you thought, the queen interrupted gently. You thought to give something living, something that would die but meant something while it lived. This is wisdom we Xylothians forgot when we became a spacefaring race. We built ships and stations and forgot the temporary, beautiful things. She turned to address the assembled dignitaries, still holding the bouquet like it was made of starlight. This human came not with weapons or trade goods or even valuable resources. He came with something that will wither and fade, and in doing so, reminded me what it means to be alive in this moment. The humans understand something we have forgotten. Sienna appeared at Freddy's side, her hand finding his. She squeezed once, pride evident in her expression. Around them, the other ambassadors were whispering frantically into their communication devices, no doubt reporting this unprecedented breach of protocol, or perhaps this unexpected diplomatic victory. The Queen's senior counselor, a battle-scarred veteran with dark carbon scoring across his carapace, approached Freddy. The Queen wishes to know if there are more of these flowers on your vessel. Hundreds, Freddy said. Thousands, if you count the seeds. We grow them for food, for air, for beauty. The Queen finished. Bring me teachers. Bring me gardeners. We will build gardens on our ships, on our stations. We will remember. She looked at Freddy, then at Sienna. The humans will teach us to grow flowers again. As the formal reception dissolved into excited chatter and the beginning of what Sienna whispered was likely to be the fastest treaty negotiation in human history. Freddy stood there with wilted rose petals on his shirt and the lingering warmth of an alien queen's embrace. He'd come to give flowers. He'd ended up giving hope. And somewhere in the back of his mind, Freddy thought that maybe, just maybe, humanity's real gift to the galaxy wasn't their technology or their resilience or even their stubborn refusal to quit. Maybe it was simply that they still remembered to stop and smell the roses,